Tension rises as the boxing community debates the controversial scoring of Ortiz versus Bohachuk, with calls for a rematch. Professional boxer Tim Tszyu notes that this fight marked Vergil Ortiz's first significant bout in the 154-pound weight class.
A hell of a show, you know, and this was his first proper fight at 154. You know, he really. That was his first 154. It's a different club at 154. You know? Thanks, Tim.
Reflecting on his potential bout with Vergil Ortiz, Tim responds by acknowledging that such a match would have been just as intense and exciting. He believes that a fight between them would have been a cracker, a term implying it would be a thrilling and competitive bout. During the bout, while reflecting on the outcome, Tim Tszyu commented that the score could either be even or slightly in favor of Bohachuk.
How do you think the math works out? Man, I think maybe 7-5 Ortiz. With the 2 knockdowns, it could be either even or Bohachuk in front. So, I don't know, it's boxing, you never know. But man, that was a crowd pleaser for sure, you know.
Furthermore, Serhii Bohachuk's promoter Tom Loeffler argues that despite Vergil Ortiz's knockdowns and hard punches, the judging was unfair, and Serhii Bohachuk deserved a better result.
Well, in his mind, in his heart, he knows he won the fight. Thanks, Serhii. In his mind, he knows he won the fight. He's fighting for his country. He got the knockdowns. He should have won and he's a defending champion. You got to take the belt from the champion, and Vergil didn't do that. And I don't want to discredit Vergil at all. All the respect in the world for him and Robert Garcia, what they did, but it was a...
Loeffler is clearly dissatisfied with the way the fight was judged. He points out that one judge scored the bout as a draw, which he thinks could have been a reasonable outcome. If the fight had been scored as a draw, Bohachuk would have retained his title, which Loeffler believes would have been fair given the fight's events. Loeffler is concerned that Bohachuk lost his title, even though he had scored 2 knockdowns during the match. He argues that this loss of the title was unfair and did not accurately reflect Bohachuk's performance in the ring. Loeffler is frustrated because he feels that the judging did not give Bohachuk proper credit for his achievements during the fight. Loeffler expresses frustration about the fight's outcome. Loeffler felt that Serhii Bohachuk was the rightful winner and should still be considered the champion. They believe the fight was very close and argue that Bohachuk deserved to win or at least get a draw. Despite the judge's decision, which favored Vergil Ortiz, Loeffler thinks Bohachuk's performance was strong and should be recognized. He suggests that in cases like this, where the scoring is controversial, the WBC might step in and order a rematch. By doing so, the WBC would give both fighters another opportunity to fight and determine a clear winner. Loeffler believes that this approach would help ensure fairness and address any issues with the original judging. In addition, Loeffler discusses the scoring, noting that despite the knockdowns, the rounds seem to be scored overwhelmingly for Ortiz.
You got to give every other round to Vergil. With 2 knockdowns, that's 4-point deficit. So I'm not sure where every other round was scored for Vergil.
Loeffler reflects on past problems with scoring in boxing, citing a previous fight involving Triple G where the scorecards were highly controversial. He mentions that the scoring in that fight was so bad, it was considered one of the worst in boxing history. This past experience makes him more critical of the current situation. He expresses disappointment that a fighter like Bohachuk, who trained hard and fought with great effort, lost his title in what Loeffler sees as an unfair manner. He feels that the scoring mishaps are harmful to the sport of boxing, as they undermine the integrity of the competition. Loeffler insists that if a fighter truly loses a match and the other fighter wins fairly, then the results should be clear and accurate. He believes that incorrect scoring damages the sport and frustrates fans and fighters alike. Moving forward, Serhii Bohachuk trainer Manny Robles criticizes the judging process, stating that officials are not held accountable and expressing frustration with how the decisions are made.
I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. I hope I don't get myself in trouble with the commission or the judges or the WBC or any of these so-called sanctioning bodies. Man, I get sick and tired of this shit time and time again. How unfair they could be to these fighters, like tonight with Serhii, how unfair they could be. They put their knives on the line, everything that they go through just to get to this point. And for these officials to I don't know what the fuck they're looking at, man. And not only that, nobody holds them accountable.
Robles explains that even though Bohachuk had a strong performance, including 2 knockdowns, he believes Bohachuk didn't receive the recognition he deserved. He criticizes the judges for awarding close rounds to Vergil Ortiz instead of acknowledging Bohachuk's aggressive and effective boxing. Robles contends that Bohachuk's ability to press forward and land more punches should have been sufficient to win the fight, or at least secure a draw. Robles then talks about his role as a coach and how he supports his fighters through both wins and losses. He describes the emotional impact of seeing a fighter who has put in so much effort and faced personal challenges, like Bohachuk not getting the win he believes he earned. Robles reflects on the difficulty of getting to this level in boxing and the personal sacrifices fighters make. He emphasizes that his role is to guide and support his fighters, helping them maintain dignity and continue moving forward despite setbacks. Additionally, Robles mentions that if the immediate rematch isn't possible, they will explore other options for Book. He acknowledges that there are many potential fights for Bohachuk in the division and that his performance in this fight has kept him in the spotlight. Adding to the debate, former professional boxer Robert Garcia discusses the fight, noting it was very close.
Oh, we knew it was a close fight. Serhii came to fight. He was prepared better than ever. Honestly, he came in prepared. He came in to fight all 12 rounds very hard. He took a lot of punishment too, and I gotta give him respect and credit for the type of fight that he put up. I think coming to the last 3 rounds, we did push Vergil to need to win this round, especially because of those 2 knockdowns that were countered. We knew the fight had to be close because every round.
Robert Garcia talks about how Vergil Ortiz was surprised by Serhii Bohachuk's jab and long right hand. He acknowledges that Bohachuk's team did a good job preparing him for the fight. Garcia explains that even though Ortiz had moments where he was reminded to be cautious, the fight was still very tough. He admits that emotional factors might have played a role in Ortiz's performance, but avoids blaming emotions for any shortcomings. Robert Garcia comments on Ortiz's mental state during the fight. He notes that this was the first time Ortiz had to go the full distance in such a challenging bout. It was a learning experience for Ortiz since he had never faced a fight where things were so tough and close. Despite having moments where he needed to be reminded to follow instructions, Garcia is satisfied with Ortiz's performance. He emphasizes that not every fight will be easy, and this experience will help Ortiz in the future. Garcia mentions that he didn't know the exact scorecards, but was aware that the fight was close. He explains that the fight was competitive and challenging. While he didn't have details on the scorecards, he knew it was a close contest and acknowledges the difficulty of the fight. Furthermore, Garcia discusses the potential for Ortiz to fight Terence Crawford in the future. He supports the idea, but emphasizes Ortiz needs some time to recover first. He also considers a rematch with Bohachuk if the Crawford fight does not materialize.
You know what? It's something we have to talk about. We have to consider. But yes, I'm okay with the fight. Obviously with enough time. We can't. We have to know that Vergil needs some time off. He's got to rest and enjoy some time off because he deserves it. He earned it. But yeah, it's a fight that we will be after. That's the fight that we would like, and hopefully Rick Morrigan, Golden Boy, Turkey. Hopefully they put it together. Hopefully Crawford also, is okay with the fight. I don't know what his plans are. He's chasing a Canelo fight. I don't know if he'll get that. He might get it. I don't know. You know what I mean. So we have to also see what.
Garcia discusses the possibility of Vergil Ortiz fighting Terence Crawford. He thinks it would be a great matchup, but stresses that Ortiz needs some time to rest and recover before taking on such a big fight. Garcia acknowledges that Crawford is a top fighter and that a fight with him would be exciting and challenging. Additionally, Garcia also considers the option of a rematch with Serhii Bohachuk if the Crawford fight doesn't happen. He praises Bohachuk for his strong performance and how the fight was close. Garcia believes Bohachuk deserves another chance and highlights that the styles of Ortiz and Bohachuk made for a tough but entertaining fight. He says that any decision on future fights will involve the whole team and considers the rematch a possibility if Crawford is unavailable. Moreover, boxing promoter Oscar De La Hoya praises the fight as Fight of the Year, highlighting its intensity and closeness.
Look, I said it was Fight of the Year, and it was Fight of the Year. I mean, come on, this was a war. It was a close fight. Vergil attacked the entire night. Bohachuk obviously deserves all the credit in the world.
Oscar De La Hoya talks about the current situation for the fighters and what might happen next. He mentions that both Vergil Ortiz and Serhii Bohachuk are currently in the hospital, which means that decisions about a rematch or future fights are on hold for now. De La Hoya emphasizes that their health is the priority, so no decisions will be made until they are fully recovered. He reassures that both fighters are okay, though they are injured. De La Hoya compares the situation to a dramatic movie scene, saying it's like the characters Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa in the hospital. He suggests that once Ortiz and Bohachuk have had time to rest and heal, they will revisit the conversation about future fights and possible rematches. Moving further, boxing promoter Serhii Bohachuk discusses the fight's outcome, suggesting he thinks it was a draw rather than a clear win for Ortiz.
Great fight. Did you have it as close as the cards, or did you feel Ortiz won or Bohachuk won?
I think it's a draw.
Serhii Bohachuk is asked about future opponents for Tim Tszyu. Bohachuk is asked who he would like Tszyu to fight next, suggesting that Tszyu should face a notable opponent. Moreover, Bohachuk also talks about the possibility of including other fighters in the mix, such as Jermell Charlo. He mentions that Erickson Lubin and other prominent Mexican fighters are potential opponents. This indicates a broader interest in exciting matchups within the boxing scene. Additionally, when asked whether Ortiz is ready to face Terence Crawford, Serhii expresses a clear interest in seeing this fight happen in the future. He acknowledges that a fight between Ortiz and Crawford would be a significant event, highlighting his belief in Ortiz's potential to compete at the highest level. However, Serhii also recognizes the excitement and merit of a possible rematch between Ortiz and his most recent opponent. This shows that while he is confident in Ortiz's ability to challenge a top-tier fighter like Crawford, he is also pragmatic and open to the idea that Ortiz might benefit from another fight before stepping into the ring with someone of Crawford's caliber. Additionally, former professional boxer Bernard Hopkins acknowledges uncertainty about the scorecards, but believes Vergil Ortiz won through resilience, comparing the fight's intensity to classic bouts like those of Mickey Ward.
That he poured it out. I think that he sucked it up when it was important, and I think that the fans enjoyed it. And when you got a fight that's so close, sort of a preview of a Mickey Ward and a Gaddy.
Bernard Hopkins talks about the importance of instant replay in boxing. He explains that during the fight between Vergil Ortiz and Serhii Bohachuk, instant replay was used to review the knockdowns. Initially, there were 2 knockdowns, but after reviewing the footage, it was decided that only one of them should count. Hopkins argues that this kind of replay should be more commonly used in boxing to correct any errors or misjudgments made by the referees or judges. Moreover, he also points out that the audience's reaction can influence the scoring of the fight. In this case, the reaction from the crowd played a role in the final decision. Hopkins believes that despite these challenges, the scoring of the fight was ultimately correct and that the right outcome was reached. Regarding his future opponents, he added, "I mean, it was a tough fight. I think you say, what is next? I want to answer that. I think the best fights out there for Vergil is next, and I believe the negotiation's going to start right away, as soon as Monday morning." In addition, former professional boxer Jeff Mayweather claims that Serhii Bohachuk deserved to win, even though Vergil Ortiz was the official winner.
The other guy. Not Vergil, the other guy.
He said the other guy.
I mean, I don't know how to say it, so.
Why'd you think he won the fight?
I thought that he won the fight because he had 2 knockdowns.
Jeff Mayweather explains why he thinks Serhii Bohachuk won the fight, despite Vergil Ortiz being declared the winner. He points out that Bohachuk scored 2 knockdowns, which gives him a significant advantage. Jeff says that if Bohachuk won more than 2 rounds, it could potentially mean the fight is a draw. Furthermore, Jeff further clarifies his point by saying that even with the 2 knockdowns, Bohachuk would need to win 3 additional rounds to win the fight. However, he believes Bohachuk won more than those 3 rounds and thus deserved the win. We want to hear from you. Head to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts on the recent event. Do you think the judges made the right call, or do you believe there was a mistake or controversy in their decision? If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button.